time and time again talking about the necessity, with pride, about cutting Social Security, cutting Medicare, cutting veterans programs.
No.
Welcome back to my channel, everybody. So Congress and President Biden are working hard to send out the fourth stimulus check very soon. Chuck Schumer is making some moves in Congress that could get our stimulus relief payments sent out before the end of the year. And folks, do you believe that President Biden should keep his promise to our seniors and increase the Social Security benefits? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like if you are in support of the fourth stimulus check. Folks, just know this. The IRS recently churned out another 2.2 million stimulus checks. And it's a great reminder that it is critical for people to submit a tax return, even if they usually don't have enough money to file one. According to a Treasury Department announcement, the IRS has been distributing the $1,400 check since March, and just over half of the latest batch is going to people who previously had not filed a tax return but recently did. Those recent filers include people who don't make enough money to owe taxes. Typically, if someone is single and under age 65, they are only required to file a 2020 federal tax return if they made more than $12,400. For married couples filing jointly who are under age 65, they have to file a 2020 return if they made over $24,000. But taxpayers, everybody, can still file a return even if their income is under those limits. And when they submit a tax return, they are getting under the radar of the IRS, and this will help you get a stimulus check. Folks, did you receive the first, second, and third stimulus check yet? Tell me in the comments below.
The idea that Bernie implies, the way he says things, speaking of negative ads, my Lord, Bernie, you're running ads saying I'm opposed to Social Security that PolitiFact says is a flat lie?
Now everybody, I want to go over some outdated Social Security advice that you should probably ignore. And this is all according to the Motley Fool. Social Security is an important income source for lots of seniors. As such, there is a world of Social Security advice out there designed to help retirees make smart choices with their benefits. Number 1, you're entitled to your full monthly Social Security benefit based on your earnings history once you reach your full retirement age, which is either 66 or 67 or somewhere in between. You can sign up for Social Security as early as age 62, but you'll often hear that doing so is a bad idea because it will result in lower monthly benefit for life. But for one thing, getting your money sooner might enable you to invest and generate enough wealth to compensate for a lower benefit. But also, if you don't expect to live a very long life or don't want to take the risk that you won't, filing early for Social Security might give you a higher lifetime Social Security benefit. In addition, many people earn more money at the tail end of their career than the beginning or midpoint. As such, you'll often hear that it's a good idea to work longer once your earnings have peaked. Now again, that's true, but your monthly retirement benefit is based on how much you earn during your 35 highest paid years in the workforce. Replacing a year or two of lower earnings with higher earnings by working longer could in fact raise your benefits. And folks, if you're like most Americans, you're a few years or more behind under retirement savings, but a handful of little known Social Security secrets can help ensure a boost in your retirement income. In addition, everybody, in regards to stimulus payments, the IRS has been extremely delayed in sending tax returns to millions of Americans. Some of these taxpayers reportedly have waited for months to see their 2020 tax funds. The government's backlog of tax returns is a result of the impact of the crisis. In addition, many government employees work together from home throughout the duration of the crisis, which reportedly restricted their access to the IRS system.
In Phase 2, the National Personnel Records Center has 25% of staff on site. There are supposedly 200 employees per shift, 2 shifts a day, 6 days a week. But they are only processing emergency requests, for example, immediate burials, hospitalizations, and for the homeless. In the Veterans Affairs Committee, we led a push to enable National Personnel Records Center employees to get vaccines from the VA's allotment in an attempt to increase staffing. In the latest information provided to my staff, only 36 National Personnel Records Center employees took advantage of this availability. This is 36 out of 600. Now, these aren't just numbers on a poster. There are real consequences. There are people's lives. My constituent, Mr. Albert Duplantis, 69 years old, of Lake Charles, Louisiana. There's Mr. Duplantis when he was...
Approximately 16% of renters and that's about 11.4 million people have fallen behind their rent, including 21% of renters with dependents in their household. And so the eviction moratorium is set to expire on July 31st. But it doesn't forgive rent is owed. It pushes the debt into the future. Everybody, just be aware of all this. And if you are in support of a stimulus check, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Until next time, have a great day.
In the Navy, and there you see him now. He served our country during Vietnam, stationed upon the USS Pyro. He has diabetes type 2, atrial fibrillation, and hypertension claimed as due to Agent Orange. He needs treatment for his heart condition, but he cannot get the medical records he needs because the National Personnel Records Center is not processing the needed military record during COVID-19, the one that the VA needs to make this happen. Now, his application for medical treatment for his heart condition, this is a heart condition, by the way, was received by the VA in December 2019. That's 2019. In an early response, the VA provided a possible date of completion of March 23rd, 2021. Now, from 2019, December, to March 23rd, 2021, that date has come and gone, but Mr. Duplantis' application is stuck in limbo until the VA receives his military records from the National Personnel Records Center. Let me repeat. A treatment for heart disease has been held up since 2019 because of the inaction of the National Personnel Records Center. We're over 1 year into the pandemic. We've had access to vaccines. The masks are off, and still records are not being processed. And federal employees are sitting at home, collecting a paycheck without working. We're talking since March of last year, we're now in May of this year, have not shown up for work one day, nor have they worked from home. And we have a man who can't get his records for heart disease. This is unacceptable. With vaccines widely available, there's no excuse for mandatory work not being done. If you're not willing to do your job, you shouldn't have a job. This great American went to war for our freedom, but federal employees won't go to the office to file his paperwork. There are other veterans besides Mr. Duplantis unable to receive medical treatment and other benefits they're entitled to. This weekend, we will observe Memorial Day, a time where we honor and mourn the men and women of the U.S. military that died during their service to this great country. This is a reminder of the sacrifice